This is IGN.
Nintendo's Great Ape finally returns to the spotlight in a truly groundbreaking adventure. This is your IGN review of Donkey Kong Bonanza by Logan Plant. So I hear you want a new 3D Mario. If that means you're looking for a console-defining platformer with satisfying, expressive movement, innovative mechanics that constantly grow and evolve, and expertly crafted challenges that unleash the interactive potential between said movement and mechanics, then I'm beyond thrilled to share that Donkey Kong Bonanza is all of that and so much more. Bananza is no mere side project from the team behind Super Mario Odyssey. It's a brilliant successor to that masterpiece, a tremendous reinvention for one of Nintendo's original mascots, and a groundbreaking adventure in every sense of the word. Every breakable corner of Donkey Kong's world, which is most of them, is bursting with timeless Nintendo magic and equally fresh ambition. Bananza wonderfully balances honoring its star's various incarnations over the decades, with lovely nods to both Shigeru Miyamoto's seminal arcade original and Rare's classic Donkey Kong Country trilogy, while also fearlessly punching through a mountain to forge its own path. It also tells a light, sweet story about Donkey Kong and his spirited sidekick Pauline, pursuing an underground legend that will allegedly grant them one wish. Pauline hopes to return home, and Donkey Kong just wants more bananas, of course. And the deeper the pair dives toward the planet core, the deeper the gameplay becomes. Bananza is a constant crescendo across its 20-hour campaign that hits its pinnacle with an unforgettable finale that cements this as one of the best 3D platformers I've ever played. What's interesting about how the world and objectives are designed is that Bananza isn't really about destroying everything. Instead, it's about exploring, platforming, fighting, and collecting in a vast world where you can destroy everything, which is an important distinction. It never feels like a gimmick or the only tool you have to solve every problem, but rather one integral part of Bananza's larger game design philosophy. I was rarely asked to create random tunnels underground with no guidance like you might in Minecraft, and Donkey Kong's upgradable sonar ability helped me to find buried collectibles hidden to the naked eye. And Pauline helps out with the search too, as using her singing ability reveals waypoints to collectibles marked on your map, making it easy to pick your next destination. That keeps the hunt for completion focused and fun, even if the camera occasionally struggles with the weird angles you force it into when digging yourself a nice hole. Of course, if you want to rip an entire level down to the studs for the fun of it, you can do that too. Bananza really does look great, with amazing, expressive animations for Donkey Kong himself and colorfully detailed environments, NPCs, and enemies. It also constantly pulls inspiration from Donkey Kong history, such as the opening level being littered with fallen girders from the original Donkey Kong arcade game, and side-scrolling segments that reference classic Donkey Kong Country levels, including a lovely new arrangement of Stickerbush Symphony that's just one tune in Bananza's awesome soundtrack. This may be from the 3D Mario team, but Bananza regularly pays respects to all of Donkey Kong history, and at times feels like a modern follow-up to Rare's golden era from the SNES and N64. Even the friendly rocks with googly eyes look as if they were plucked right from Banjo-Kazooie. Some of the flashiest moments happen during Donkey Kong's Bonanza transformations, a variety of powered-up, time-limited states that are unlocked as you progress deeper into the planet. Kong Bonanza is essentially a souped-up version of Donkey Kong himself, who can disintegrate the harder materials you'd usually need a boom rock to break through. Zebra Bonanza is all about speed, where you can run over terrain that would crumble underneath Donkey Kong's ordinary giant feet, while Ostrich Bonanza lets you glide through the air. The character design is hilarious, and each Bonanza is accompanied by a catchy tune performed by Pauline, so it's always fun to mutate into one of these fierce forms. They all feel fleshed out and great to control, and even better, you can instantly swap between the Bonanza transformations when you're in the powered-up state, giving you even more flexibility in how you want to tackle challenges. If I had to say something critical about the Bonanza powers, it's that sometimes they're too powerful. You can only enter a Bonanza if you have enough Bananergy, which is a meter filled by collecting gold. So, in theory, the Bonanzas should be somewhat limited. However, gold is so plentiful that you'll pretty much always earn enough Bananergy to transform almost immediately after spending it. This can sometimes trivialize otherwise interesting puzzles in the overworld. For example, if there's a gem surrounded by poison water and the intended route involves creating your own path to it using vines, you can instead just skip the whole challenge by gliding to it as an ostrich bonanza. That's admittedly still a real solution that fits in with Nintendo's recent love of designing puzzles where any answer that works is a correct one, but having that power so readily available can feel cheap compared to the fun actually figuring an obstacle out. I was usually able to restrain myself from using the most streamlined options Bonanzas sometimes provided, but if you're someone who was unable to resist relying on Tears of the Kingdom's convenient but boring hoverbike, I could see them being a dangerous temptation. The leader of the bunch is finally back to kick some tail in Donkey Kong Bonanza, a brilliant successor to Super Mario Odyssey, and a smashing return for a classic Nintendo character. It was a bold choice to build the Switch 2's first 3D platformer around Donkey Kong instead of Mario, but it's proven to be the best decision Nintendo could have made. Donkey Kong's satisfying, expressive movement and powerful dynamic abilities create a truly groundbreaking adventure. The ambitious, destructible layers of this underground world are densely packed with satisfying collectibles, abundant charm, and clever challenges that never seem to run out of smart ideas, even long after the credits have rolled. Bonanza is a constant crescendo across its 20-hour campaign and beyond, with puzzle platforming concepts that only grow richer as Donkey Kong and Pauline dive deeper toward the planet core. Every element comes together in complete harmony to create Nintendo's first Switch 2 masterpiece. Donkey Kong Bonanza's IGN score? 10 out of 10. Thanks for listening to IGN. My name is Tony Jackson, and for the latest Donkey Kong Bonanza updates, visit us at IGN.com.
Spoken Layer.